Hello, it's Sunday, October the 18th, 6:09 a.m. as I began this video this morning. What I'm doing now is I'm going back to all the postings that I've made in the last 14 months and reposting. God has took me to another place now where I'm not daily writing a new blog every day. And where I went today was probably the third or fourth post that I ever did. I'm not sure, but I'm putting them all in a book. And I titled it Grace and Truth and Obedience. And I'm sure we've all heard the phrase or heard this said, there but by the grace of God go I. You know, I always thought that was in the Bible, but it's not. I looked it up on the internet, and a guy named John Bradford who's been attributed with this saying, and that was in the 16th century when he said that. Well, it still rings true today. There but by the grace of God go I. What this means to me in a most powerful, mighty way is I could be the worst sinner, the worst drug addict, the worst criminal, or anything around except for God's grace. It's God's grace that brought me up in the environment I was brought up in, with two wonderful parents, with wonderful school teachers, and everything that influenced me into becoming the person that I became to be. And I realized this. And if we ever start to think that we're something special, you know, if we think that we're anything special other than what God has given to us, we're on the wrong path. And it's so easy in today's world to be on the wrong path because of pride, you know, especially in America. It's like everything points at our pride. Everything points to us, to us being beautiful, to us being all these things, to us outdoing and everything that it does. So, except for the grace of God, like I said, we must know that He gives us the grace, and if we are walking with Him, we just know that it's not because of anything really that we done, but it's because of His grace. And that's the main thing I wanted to get across. As I said, we should never, never, never judge anyone. He says don't judge so that we be not judged. If we, in the measure of judgment that we use towards someone, it will be measured back to us. And that is so true. And the Word of God says we're going to reap what we sow. So if we sow judgment or anything like that toward another one, it's coming back to us in some way, form, or fashion, because God cannot lie, and we do reap what we sow. So that's another important thing that we need to really know in our walk with the Lord, that we do, and we will reap what we sow. He says to love our neighbor as ourselves. It's that simple, and but yet it's that hard too, especially when we got all this self-nature in us that needs to get out of us. The main thing is grace, truth, and obedience. The grace that we have because of the Lord. The truth that's in the Word of God is definitely, every word is true when we truly understand it. A lot of times we don't really understand it, or we want to take everything literally when we're not meant to. We got to learn to read in the Spirit. And then obedience. Just simply do what He says do. So if we can just learn that, grace, truth, and obedience, that there but by the grace of God go I, the truth is in the Word, and we must believe and do and act on what God says, and then obedience. It is acting on it. It is making ourselves, to start with, we got to force ourselves to love our neighbor, and we got to ask God to help us. He always has to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching today.